How do you think Brodie Croft looked today?
Thought he looked like Brodie Croft, but in a better coloured jersey.
Leeds has won back-to-back rugby league titles. The golden generation finally has its golden fleece. No England game, it seems, is complete without a Ryan Hall try. Jamie Peacock.
Kevin Sinfield.
Rob Burrow.
Jamie Jones Buchanan for Leeds.
It's one of the most popular beards in rugby league.
There aren't many in Super League that can do that.
We just want to be a great friend, and if we can all try and be a bit of a better friend from time to time, I think we have a bit of a better place to live in.
The Lot Pod is kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who've been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective and delivered fast.
Hello and welcome to the Lot Pod, brought to you by our sponsors Fast Signs. We thank them as always for their continued support. My name is Statman Rhys. There is no Eddie this evening, but I am joined by, I wouldn't have said third wheel then, but our third wheel, Chris, producer Chris. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Very good.
So we are back with the weekly roundup for round 16. We haven't done one of these pods for a while, but I'm not going to take everyone through all the results since we last did one of these. Otherwise, you'd be here for forever. But I will take you through ahead of what's going on this weekend first. So we have a triple header on Saturday, and that is starting with the women. So the women currently sit top of the table, joint with Wigan. They've played 6, won 5, and lost the one game. And the game that they play this weekend is the game they have lost this season, and actually lost to this team twice. The only team they've lost to, which is St Helens. That is a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday at Headingley before the men kick off against London. As I mentioned, the women will want to get payback against Saints. They've lost to them twice now, 12-6 in the league earlier in the year, and also, unfortunately, in the Challenge Cup final. Then after the men, we Academy are playing. And they currently sit 7th in the table, so out of 6 games they've won 2. They did win, obviously, the last time they played, as they played before Leeds beat Lee when they played the Giants. But they'll be wanting to back up that win against Castleford this weekend, which happens after the men. So it's the third part of the triple header. And last time they played Castleford, they lost 24-22. So just on that triple header, doors are open at 12 o'clock, so get down there early, support the women. There'll be lots of England women internationals there. It should be a great game and contest, as it always is against St Helens. It is a family day. There's loads of stuff going on for families in terms of face painting, magicians, absolutely everything. And for those that you do get down early, you'll be rewarded by happy hour, which is half-price pints from 12 to 1 o'clock. I'm not sure I'll be there just that early. I'm trying to get there, but hopefully a few of us who get there to watch the women will be rewarded with a happy hour. And if you want to stick around after the game, you can supper some more and watch England football play in the South Stand after the game. So that is the roundup. So I'll go straight into the news, and the news is the fact there is no news. So Chris, were you expecting any news on an appointment of head coach this week?
I don't think I was.
Because we were talking about this off air, weren't we? Because Rowan Smith, it was 5 games I think JJB took charge of. The 5th game was because they're waiting for him to come across with his visa. So it was 3 to 4 games. So translate that as weeks, 3 to 4 weeks when we went without any news. So on that theory, we're only 2 weeks into it potentially.
Yeah, I think it's a massive appointment. So I think they should just take the time. We don't know what's going on, do we? That's the thing. So it could be that they are negotiating with a couple. And, because it's a big, if they're getting somebody from Australia, it's a big move for them for a start off. So it's not just a quick decision, is it? And then there's visas and all that. So maybe they're just being really guarded about everything this time.
Yeah, I think they, for sadly, we've had quite a few leaks and rumours this year. We've had no rumours or leaks regarding this as of yet. I do think, picking up what you said actually off air before we started this, I think we've had a lot of applicants for this.
Yeah.
And I think obviously that takes time to go through. It sounds like they're on stage 2, if you're going to believe the reports that have come through. So I don't think I was expecting any news this week. I'm hoping for something next week. Because I'm really excited to talk about it and see who it is. Because I missed the road pod. If you were a betting man, Chris, where's your money on it at the moment?
Definitely not Paul Rowley. I think that's out of the water.
You think that's sailed? I still think he's probably one of the top options in terms of a betting man. I think I'd put on if I was a betting man. Sorry,
I think that's gone.
I think it's gone.
I'd still like to think it's Brad Arthur, but who knows? It depends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Depends how much money they want as well. You can't just throw endless amounts of money at people, neither. And the more I think about Brad Arthur is, do we want somebody that's going to be a longer term, or are we not bothered?
Well, me and Eddie talked about this on the mailbag, didn't we? And because someone asked us if, and I thought just a quick sideshow to that, a tangent to that. We did do the mailbag last weekend, the first mailbag we've done this year. Loads of questions ranging from what's your favourite kitchen appliance to this question, which was if Brad Arthur comes for 2 years. Actually, just on the kitchen appliance joke, no one's really commented on my fryer power joke, and I'm a bit disappointed by that. But on that, one of the questions was if Brad Arthur just came for 2 years, would you be happy with that? And then went to the new NRL team. I was getting the impression there, Chris, from your perspective, that you wouldn't want that. Would you?
Know. I'm a bit 50-50 on the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like if he came for 2 years and we got to 2 grand finals.
Yeah,
that's great.
I mean, Bluey, wasn't it? Was he 2 years or 3? But at least in 08-09, he got.
Yeah, but he would take.
And then Tony Smith, yeah.
Different kettle of fish, that, isn't it? So. I really don't know what to say really about who. The longer it goes on, I don't know who I want to get the job, and I don't know who's right to get the job. So I'm just hoping that Ian Blaze is just being really diligent.
Thank you for not saying Blaster. I really appreciate that, Chris.
I would have done if Eddie were on, but I knew you wouldn't have liked it. No, I still think Jason Demetriou's in the running.
I think it's a name that's probably maybe applied, approached, or being considered. One of the three. I don't know enough about the NRL to comment on it, but the fallout at South does sound very strange, and obviously he was at the helm for that. So I'd have to do more research into it. For me, it still sits between the two of Brad Arthur and Paul Rowley. I've still got my nervousness about Rowley is that Leeds is a very different club and a different scale, different expectation. It's probably the same thing I've said about Croft, same thing I've said about Ackers, same thing I've said about Ian Blease. You know, that it's very strange we've got a feeder club in Manchester, isn't it? Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit local to home. But I think you're right, Jason Tuch is probably one of those names that's in there.
I just get the feeling that if it was going to be Paul Rowley, it'd have been done and dusted.
Because with the whole stuff, it came around very quickly, didn't it, when they approached him?
Yeah, so, I just think it'd have been done and dusted, whether that had been he's joining us for next year or he's joining us straight away. I just get the feel. I mean, it's all conjecture.
I mean, that could be part of the delay, isn't it? If it is Paul Rowley, for example, let's take that as an example. You know, Leeds might want him now, but Salford are going, well, no, can you not have him at the end of the year because he's out of contract, and Leeds might want him now. So they might have got the guy, but like you say, there could be negotiations from that perspective, or there could be negotiations from bringing people over from Oz. But if I was hoping, it's Brad Arthur. If I'm a betting man, I actually think it is Rowley.
Right. I'd be the other way around.
Do you think?
I like it to be Brad Arthur. I've even heard Lee Breers' name thrown in there.
Yeah, no, he's done a good job, hasn't he, as assistant?
It's a really difficult one because everyone will want the big name that's worked. It doesn't always translate, does it?
No, it doesn't always translate, and we're going into a new structure now where I was texting Duncan earlier saying that they might not want a big character in that head coach role. They might want someone that just gets on with the coaching side. It's going to be an interesting blend of, and that's where I think the advantage of Rody comes in. He knows Ian Blease, he knows Croft, he knows Ackers, but I think that comfortability again is a negative potentially because what works at Salford might not work at Leeds. You can't always replicate things in different environments. So whilst that looks as a strength, I also consider that as a weakness as well. But the news on that front at the club is the fact there is absolutely zero news.
I think what's helped the club a bit, but I don't think it's helped the fans, is there's been breaks, hasn't there? Right, we had the pointless international break. This is a bit of a separate point, but this whole last couple of months with Challenge Cup, international break and everything, I think it's stalled the Super League season. As a fan,
I think if we were in the Challenge Cup, Chris, we might say different because we would have been playing on those weeks off, wouldn't we? In theory, if you get to the final, the only week off you have is the final.
There's only 2 teams get to the final, isn't there? So that's
yeah.
I know there's got to be a Challenge Cup break, but it's been quite quick and condensed this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, and obviously then from next year it's changing again, isn't it? Because we've got the news that we're going in a round earlier. I didn't look this up before the pod, probably should. We're going in a round earlier, and if it's a lower league, it's automatic away game for the Super League, the higher league side, isn't it?
I think is it not seeded? So you definitely get an away game.
I think so. I think it might be seeded, in that way. But I can't wait. I really want Workington or Whitehaven away or something like that. I want to go to a ground that I've not been to before. Selfishly, I want mine Keighley away because it's literally the closest game possible to me from there. But in true Lot Pod fashion, we've gone on a tangent there. But no, it's fine. It was good. But in but from a news perspective, there is no news, which takes us quite easily and straight into the game this weekend against London. So the team news for the Rhinos is pretty damn good. Hanley, Newman, Lasone and Ackers all return. Probably the closest we've been to a 1-17 for a while, only with Holroyd and Bentley missing. I found it interesting in the notes that it stated that McCormack and Edgell have retained their places after impressive performance. And obviously Sam Esse still stays in there. And Nikolai Ledsky will be making his 150th appearance for Leeds at the weekend as well, which is a big testament to Mick, and I'm sure he'll be getting at least 200, if hopefully not close to the 250 mark as a Rhino. Chris, immediate thoughts on those players returning?
It's a weird one, this, isn't it? Because it's almost the game that you would just give them an extra week off anyway.
Yeah. Do you think there's a part of that? Do you think they'll give Ashton Newman a rest because of the strength of McCormack and Edgell? Because it's that edge, isn't it?
That's what I personally would do.
Yeah,
give them an extra week. We're playing London. They shouldn't trouble us whatsoever.
We've had that naivety before, Chris.
Yeah.
Although I think this London's a bit different to the previous London that did us over at Headingley.
You got to give him another run out. I don't think there's any need to. Ash and Harry have both played last weekend, for whatever that were worth. Then they've just come back from concussion. I'd give them another week off. I just don't see the point in playing them. But I don't know whether that'll be Chev's idea or not. I don't know, but I would. I'd just give them, because we've got Warrington the week after on Thursday, so it's a short turnaround.
I'm gonna speak really slowly, but I think you're right. We've got Thursday.
It's got moved.
Yeah, it's Thursday evening next week. Yeah, so we have got a
turnaround,
potentially a turnaround, like you say.
And I'd prefer them to be fit for Warrington than London. So no disrespect to London, but I've got a feeling they might just give them an extra week off.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Sam Lasone needs to play because he could easily lose fitness, couldn't he? So get him in. And I'd put Ackers back at 9.
So you'd slot Ackers straight in over friend of the pod, Jared O'Connor?
Yeah, I think he needs...
My future husband, also another reference to the mailbag, if you listen to that.
I think he needs a start at 9.
He needs a start at 9.
I think it's a fairly easy game to just ease him back in after being off.
Yeah. So what are you sort of expecting from on Saturday then? Is there...
What, from London?
No, I suppose from us really. It's I think London's a different contest to Lee. We've previously dispatched London, obviously early in the season. I suppose it's difficult to say what you're wanting to see almost because it is just a temporary arrangement. But is there parts of the game that you still think the side need to focus on and they can use this game to build on?
I'd like to see that defensive effort again. I know it's only London, but they do throw the ball about. And they
do. I mean, look, they beat Hull and we lost to Hull. So look, we don't want. I try not to sound too arrogant when we play against London because they have a very difficult set of circumstances, much substantially lower budget, part-time players. It's tough for them.
Yeah,
but on paper, it is David Goliath, isn't it?
It's hard not to sound disrespectful, but we don't mean that, do we? It's just when you...
No, not at all.
They're a championship side playing in Super League. So,
and a side that I want to remain in Super League. I think there's a lot of value in London. In fact, I'm really looking forward to going to Wimbledon to go watch them. I booked my hotel and train for that to go down.
It's kind of why I think we should throw some kids in and just give them a bit more of a run.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it's not disrespect to London, but... I don't always like that. Well, we should be putting 60 on them. I think we should be winning comfortably, but I think if we can throw some kids in,
I think I'm looking forward to a nice afternoon, and it's going to be. I think it's quite after the emotion of last month, really. Sort of the pinnacle being that league game. I actually think this might be the best game to have next, just to bring us back in to the flow of things. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it should be a nice afternoon. 3 games on, so I usually end up going to watch the women's game or at least second half.
Yeah,
I think weather looks okay, so I think it's just going to be.
Doesn't matter. You under a roof, it's fine.
Yeah, it's going to be just quite a nice afternoon, isn't it? So. I can't see anything that a comfortable win, but
we've been wrong before.
I think it's really, like you say, with everything that's gone on, even the Rowan Smith stuff.
I include that in that.
It's a bit weird at the moment. It's not like it's a bit like the pressure's off for everyone. Do you know what I mean? And that
it feels a bit shackles off a bit. I mean. And I think, like I said, I don't want to sound disrespectful to London, but I do think this is the best game to almost start the second half of the season after the emotion of the league game in the last month, Rowan going. I think this is the right game to pick up. So on that, then let's go into sort of predicted lineup. Then, so I'm assuming you're going to have Lachie Miller at fullback, Chris.
Yeah.
On the wings, I'm guessing you're going to say Fussy Tua and Edgell.
Yeah. It's pretty much
Edgell, and then so I'm going to play devil's advocate in this one, and I it feels really wrong to drop McCormack and Edgell, and I don't think drop's the right word because they played outstandingly in their own right, and part of me is like I want them to build on that performance, but equally I also want Newman and Hanley to get back into the flow of things. And as we're coming into that second half of the season and start to build and help us move forward as a side, so I'm gonna bring Newman and Ashley back into mine, Ash Hanley into mine.
I mean, there's an argument for both, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so.
I think the argument get them back in.
It'd be quite nice to have we could have 1 to 7 at the weekend.
Would you
obviously
not play Jack?
I would play Jack. I absolutely would play Jack in this game. I think that's probably the one change I would make. I'd want to see Momorowski partnering Hanley again. I just think having that 1 to 5 back, it's an opportunity to rebuild. Draw the line. League game's done. that emotion. Let's close that door off now, and let's focus on the second half of the season. Using that emotion, using that game is a really good example of what we can do. But I think it's important to get Momorowski back with Hanley as well. So that's why I'm bringing these players back in.
But they've not done that for a while, have they? So
no, exactly, and that's why I'm thinking because
they were great together. I think they should be the partnership. But he's been
because Momorowski's been on the other centre side, hasn't he? And they've been putting Newman's on the left. But I think it's the winger. Because Momorowski's been helping the academy person on the wing, hasn't he? So I would bring Newman and Ash Langley back in so we can have that 1 to 5. I'd have Brodie in there. And I'm expecting at least 2 length of the field tries from Brodie after last week. And I think this is the game I would play Jack. This is the Jacksonfield game. This is a game that at the start of the season you'd have gone, play Jack.
Yeah.
Would you do the same?
Yeah, I think he will. I think it'll be earmarked. The only doing the devil's advocate thing again is that Frawley seemed to be picking up some form.
Yeah.
So do we need to continue? Because he's the number 7 for the rest of the year, isn't he? At least so.
Yeah. So I'm always contradicting myself by saying playing Jack when in reality, if I'm using the same rule for Ash and Newman, I probably should be using the same for Frawley.
Yeah, I think I know everyone was anchoring for Jack to play more games, but I don't know whether there's a lot of mixed emotions with obviously all the Rowan Smith stuff. And do you know what I mean? It can sometimes play on your judgment of who should be playing just because the coach isn't doing so well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think Jack will probably play on Saturday, and I think you're right. I think it'll be marked on the calendar as this is one of the games you're going to get.
Yeah, I think so. So moving into the pack then, obviously Mick out and out, one of the props. Starting prop with Mick, where do you go with that? So we've got Lasone back, obviously we've got Sangare, Gudemond's played there, Sam Esse. I mean, part of me is
ANW in
saying no.
Right.
No Nicholson Watton. So, and I've kind of stopped asking him to start now because I've realised that he's not going to start this year. So I'm going to start a trend with a new prop to start now. I quite like to see Sam Esse start.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, get him. We've only got him for a short amount of time. Hopefully we can change that, but get him in straight.
Yeah, I know you probably should start your permanent, but I don't think Lasone or Sangare are really starting props. No. So since we've got 4 available for a change, which is nice, 4.5 if you include Gudemond in there, it's nice to include that. So I'm going to give Sam Esse a shout for that. Hooker, I would go Jared.
I'm going
just because Ackers is coming back from injury. But again, Jared's had a good run of games. But actually, no, I'm contradicting my own philosophy here. Right? It should be Ackers. Shouldn't it? Yeah, sorry, Jared. It's going to be Ackers because I've contradicted my own philosophy. So Ackers in there. Second row, again, is the back row just easy? Cam, McDonald, Martin. And then bench for me is probably going to be Lasone, Sangare, O'Connor.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a back in there, so I'd probably put Alfie.
I think you're looking at Alfie. If we've gone with if we've let's say we've gone with Ash and
in my lineup, obviously, yeah, it'd be Edgell in there. But in yours, where Edgell's starting, does that slightly change your bench?
Yes, because I think you can get away with it back on the bench. So do you put one of the experience? This sounds mad, but do you put Ash or Harry on the bench just in case?
Yeah.
That sounds stupid. You put in the large amount of salary caps on bench, but just with it being London. So in my scenario where you're playing the 2 young kids, do you put some more experience on the bench just in case?
And you're playing those kids because Ash and Newman played England, given the week off because everyone else hasn't, or less game time anyway.
So
from there,
it's either that or just go with the big bench. But I think when you are playing a bit of inexperience, I don't think it's a bad thing to have back sometimes. I know it sounds, but then Jared's quite versatile, isn't he? So
he can play obviously hooker, second row.
You put,
loose.
You can shift it about with Martin going to centre and stuff. So it's a really difficult one because I can see the
I can see arguments and merits of both what me and you have discussed.
Right.
So
it's going to be interesting to see where Chev goes with it. I've got a feeling that Chev's more likely to play the younger kids.
Yeah, well, we shall see come Saturday. Chris, predictions, score and any particular try scorers or outcomes score? What are we going with?
I think we might get 50 plus, but I think London will score a few as well. So
yeah,
52-18.
52-18. I'll go 46-10 from my side. I'm expecting, if Ash Hanley is playing, I want a hat trick from Ash. In fact, I'm going to scratch that. I want a hat trick for Fussy Tua, a player that I really love. I love it when he plays. Just doesn't get on the pitch enough for us, but I'd like to see Fussy getting a hat trick on Saturday.
Because he could play absolute havoc with them coming out of. That's where they really struggle as well, in it containing sides. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll go with that.
Go with that. And there's probably one final request from me to the London Broncos, and that is to wear their away kit.
Yes.
Because their away kit might actually be the best kit in the entire league this year. I think it's one of absolute beauty. So I don't know what you think, Chris, as a designer person yourself. I think that is one of the best shirts we've got in Super League this year.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? It's
a classic.
I don't think they will, because if we're wearing the white, I think they'll say there's too much of a clash because it's got quite a big white thing.
Oh, it's got white, yellow, and blue on it, hasn't it? It's white, yellow, blue, red.
I don't think there's any chance, really.
So let's be wearing our away kit, which we're not. It could clash with the blue, couldn't it? I don't know. Anyway, whatever it works, Glyn, make it work if you're listening. Because I know you're not the kit man for London, but you can make it work for Rhinos. I want to see that away kit from London. Last thing for me before I finish the weekly roundup, if you enjoy what we do here at the Lot Pod, enjoy what myself, Eddie and Chris do, please subscribe to us on YouTube. We are on the journey to go to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We started the year around 300. We're already doubled that, and we're hitting about 630 around that figure at the moment. So subscribing and liking these videos helps us be promoted on YouTube itself. It helps it get seen by more people. And it also means that you don't miss any content that we do, whether it's these weekly roundups, match review panels, or any specials that will be coming up in the near future. If you listen to us on Spotify or Google, make sure you're giving us, or Apple, please give us those 5 stars if you think you're worth it. I absolutely think we are. And if you, again, like what we do, please consider our Patreon page. Again, just to reiterate, we would never put anything behind a paywall, but subscribing to Patreon, even for just for 1 month, £1, if you'd like to, or monthly for 1 or 3 or 5, it means a great deal to us. It goes into a pot, which then means we can buy equipment and move into stuff that helps move the podcast forward. If you see us on Saturday, either me, Chris, or Eddie, come say hello to us. But in the meantime, thanks for listening. And we will be doing the match review panel on Sunday, and that should be live for you all on Monday. Take care.